Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, my fellow YouTubers. Welcome to another edition of Mary Sky Ridley's video blog. I'm Mary Sky, also known as San Juan Island Prepper, also known as Living Simply and Fun. If you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're coming backer, welcome. So, Higgins, he's angry apparently about my comment, which I remember about. He called me a drunkard for making comment about the face being hit by a bus. I think it was a bus. Was that a train or airplane? See, I can't remember. But anyways, I remember the part about the comment, so I wasn't drunk. That booze cannot get me danked and hammered. All right. Slowed me down, but didn't basically knock me down, okay? So anyways, if you're new to the channel, hit the like, subscribe, thumbs up button. If you're coming back, you're welcome. So, tonight's news. I took a nap. And then I said Higgins messaged me about a couple things. One was food stamps. I wanted to gripe about him. His damn food stamps. He sent me a picture of something or other. Anyways, the truth is, he sent me a couple emails. Said, did the poop emoji. There it is. Yeah, probably there it is. He's talking about pooping. Sent me one about food stamps. What his balance is. I mean, literally, the guys, never mind, okay? I can go on and on a tirade about that. Then he says, I don't look like what you said last night about me. You polished off your bottle. Hey, gotta give some people entertainment, Higgins, and you were the brunt of the joke because, well, so many things happened. I had to redo my video and everything else. So today we're going to be talking about something important, okay? All right, news edition. This is what I'm here for. As you preppers, you're always talking about doomsday scenarios. There's one for you guys. Oh, I found that can I was missing yesterday. It was in my coat. So, let's get to the news, all right? News update. Seems the president of Iran's plane went down, but since he's not the supreme leader of the Muslims, his title doesn't mean jack diddly poop. Some other guy above him has more full authority, supreme power. Now, all these countries are coming to the aid of Iran, okay? Personally, it's a good thing that they're all coming together in the Islamic nations to help. And non-Islamic, Russia's sending a plane and 50 people to search. Apparently, it's in the mountain regions of the Azerbaijan region, which means it's hard to get the plane or to the helicopter that crashed. Now, this is news because something we didn't expect, okay? Now, a retired Air Force colonel said that the helicopter was built in the 1960s. Old as Higgins, apparently. See, I'm making fun of Higgins again. But truthfully, they're saying it's the lack of parts. It'd be like saying, I won the Mega Millions or Powerball. If that happened, Mega Millions, I'd buy an airplane, right? Let's just say I buy a 747 SP, for example. SP, Boeing could probably still make parts for it. That's not a problem. SPs and 747-8s and 200, 300, I think they're universal. 400, universal. Okay. No one knows. But let's just say hypothetically I buy a plane. And they say lack of parts. So it's got to sit in a hangar most time. No, that's a safe bet, okay? This helicopter was built by Bell. There's Bell 212, not the Bell 222. The Bell 222s, I think, were the 80s helicopters. That's what Airwolf was built out of. Not that I know anything about Airwolf. Don't ask. The lady's my property. Okay. Now, problem with it is I smell something really bad coming down the pipe, people. When I post comments, people listen. All right. I went to take a nap. I got up, checked my message. People are like, oh my God, you need to news this. Well, Higgins is the one saying, oh, you need to do the night news. Well, Let Higgins watch this on his own time. I'm still waiting for my report, Higgins, on the generators, unless you're so damn pissed, I got to make a purchase tonight. Some food. Waiting for my paper towels shipped. I didn't have time to carry paper towels back with me from Safeway because the shopping cart was fully loaded with, Chloe's like, oh, we get paid in 2 weeks, do we? Let me check the schedule. I think Memorial Day is coming up. Memorial Day is May 27th, so it's coming up. Okay, so let's just go. So I got to make a big purchase on June. And I hope that's my last purchase. Big purchase. So apparently June 3rd. So we're going to get paid on the 31st of May, which is 7, 10, 12 days. So in 12 days, payday. So I'm going to be reminded to buy an item, which I have on my watch list, but that's not news. Okay. But I will brief you on what I'm buying. Just so we're all on the same page. Okay. And if you guys want to donate a gift card to go towards this purchase ain't for me. It's for someone else. Yeah. Just so you know. I wish it was you guys donating for an airplane ticket for Zoe to come back home, but that won't happen because, well, Zoe's happy where she's at, or semi-happy. Who knows? All right. So I got to walk to town tomorrow. So I'm gonna be putting in at least 4 to 6 miles, even maybe 8, max of 8, because I got to go all over town tomorrow. Wow. So tomorrow's deal is this. I love all of you. So time to get to the news about this helicopter crash carrying the president. Now, he doesn't have that much power. I wouldn't worry too much, but I am worried because a lot of doomsday preppers have emailed me saying this is the icing in the cake. Could have been a black ops operation. I contacted my intel before I went out to take Moppy for a walk, and the intel is pretty bad. All right. Some are saying that the fog and Israel planned something for massive retaliatory, so it could have been a helicopter assassination on the president of Iran. Could have been the West, because the West is always belittling Iran's human rights thingy. Oh, you're transgendered, you have to have a sex change or you're dead. Oh, you're gay, you can't be gay, you're going to be killed, death. Stuff like that, human rights thing. So the West could have secretly planted it. So, don't leave that ruled out, people. This is just intel I'm getting, okay? So basically, it could be that. I was looking over the notes that I get, and this is very important. I mean, one person said, hey, Reverend Rita used to be our president of the United States. You would literally tell us, that the intel, well, to a point, okay? Now, with national security, no, I wouldn't leak it even if I was president, but this is very big news. Think about it. Will this cause World War III? Could be the catalytic for a Middle Eastern war with against the Islamic Republic, which has over 1 billion people, and the West, which has maybe 1 billion people. However, even if you arm them, then we have to go up against the allies of Russia, which Russia would love to do that. But I don't think Russia wants to use nukes. But this could be the catalyst. Maybe maybe Israel did this just so they could use the nukes on Iran. I mean, has anyone ever thought there's a plan, a pattern here? I mean, literally, are we going into World War III? Possibly. Are we going into nuclear war? Possibly. I mean, this is something, could just be me saying this, blowing my stack, but think about it. Guy gets assassinated on a helicopter. I mean, you've seen the movies, right? And video games, stuff. And, to get through this area, you must assassinate this guy on a helicopter and mission accomplished. Yeah, think about it. This is not good. So, remember what I said earlier today. You may slow down prepping, but you can't stop prepping. This is not good, my friends. This is not good at all. I woke up to find this coming down the news pipe. Now, I would have liked to see the intel report of, or the report from Higgins on monitors and computer monitors and what else was the other damn thing? Something else. I can't remember. And the generator thing. But no, someone said, well, will this, someone messaged me, your generator talk was great. Someone emailed me, can you tell us more about the generator, how it would play into nuclear war? You wouldn't be using it in a nuclear war. You'd be dead, okay? As Sister Pee Wee once said, if there was a global nuclear war, we'd all be baked, barbecued, and shish kebabbed. We'd be gone, toast. The entire planet would be depopulated of humans. Most of the entire countries and worlds would be radioactive for hundreds, if not thousands of years, to the point where the buildings would be decaying and we'd go back to a natural state of no humans. And God would have to make us again in his own image. Maybe he's pissed at us. Maybe that's what he wants. Let's just let every man, woman, and child die because hypothetically they're all greedy, selfish son of a bitches. Think about it. To me, this ain't good, man. This ain't good at all. I mean, could be something, could be nothing. So, anyways, apparently something's going on. Higgins emailed me. I know not what you talk about me, mad, not me. Yeah. Higgins emailed me saying something about the comments. He's just so damn scared he doesn't want to post a comment. But I'm going to read you some of his email because, it is part of the show. Glad you finally woke up. Now I can go to sleep, roll on the floor laughing my ass. That's fine because I took a 7-hour nap. I was tired. I was up at 5:30 playing my game until I did the morning edition. Then I had a nap. I needed a nap. I had to have a nap. I was tired. I needed the snoozer, okay? Let's see. You heard me say something about tickets, airplane tickets. Oh, there we go. Let's see. Generators? What generators? The solar generators you were talking about. I did the morning edition already about that, explaining, why you don't need to waste your money on a generator and a panel. You can buy this and a stack of batteries, and this will do the job nicely. Buy a fleece blanket for $30. You can be warm all night without even needing to break a sweat for paying for a generator. Now, as Mama Fanny once said, bless her heart, in this morning's edition, I went to her channel to check on it. Mama Fanny hasn't made an update because, she's passed away. I'm always hoping that that's not the case, okay? I always hold out. But for the sake of the show, she only used the generator for charging her phone and her rechargeable devices, aka her radios and her thing. Now, say you have cell service, right? And your cell phone works. One of the key things that I would worry about in cell service and a power outage is all circuits are busy. But for a flip phone, $20, you can actually have a backup. Earmark it, $20. Pay $15 a month and classify it in your emergency kit as backup phone, just in case. My phone, of course, I found out the battery is completely dead. Now let's continue. So Fanny used to use her generator to charge her DVD player, portable DVD player. Remember, I told you guys I'd love to see Higgins find me a portable DVD player. See, I can't basically justify paying money when 99.9% of the last 6 years I lived here, the lights have been on. I mean, literally. I mean, what if it doesn't go out for another 3 years? Then what are you going to do with a solar generator? I mean, think about it. And a lot of people don't realize a solar generator is just as bad as an electric car. I mean, you overcharge the battery can catch on fire. It's fact of life, people. It's a fact of life. So, what else? Let's answer Higgins some more. Some of this stuff I'm not going to say, Nate. Glad you finally will. Zoe coming back home. Yeah, we know that already. Zoe's not coming back, you know. Moppy took you for a walk, not the other way around. Well, Moppy had to go. So, and apparently my next walk, I'm going to have to walk up the hill and grab some more poop bags because I don't know if my purse has any left. We're running low. Do we have any poop bags in here? No, just some napkins and a receipt from Safeway. Is this the Safeway receipt? Yes, it is. Been wondering about this. Let me see. How much that bag? Oh, yeah, that was the ice. Yeah, and I gave Chloe a couple dollars because she paid for my bus fare. So I was like, here, I don't want to be, I tried to prove my point. She paid my bus fare. She should have just paid it. But I was like, here's a couple bucks to go towards the bus fare because I don't carry cash on me. So, but anyways, back to the news. You know, you guys are sitting there thinking, okay, what's going to happen? Well, I'm going to game soon. That's what's going to happen. I'm going to make dinner soon. More sausages. Amen. Pan's cleaned already, so all I have to do is throw them in a pan and roast them in the oven for, I'm going to do 45 minutes this time. I like my sausages. Cook nicely. Slept pretty good. But anyway, the bottom line is what's going to happen? Okay, we got a helicopter crash. President's dead of Iran. This could look like the biggest cover-up in American history if American or Israel or some Western allied nation did this. Now, I know Higgins doesn't want me to say this because we're not talking about Higgins and the point of me poking him about his thing about the face. You know, oh, yeah, he sent me his picture of his face again. Yes, we know, Higgins. We know what you look like, my friend. You don't need to show your face, man. Even if I was basically tipsy, I was having a little fun poking at you. But truthfully, right now, you got to ask yourself, Higgins, are we going to argue about that comment about me being on my alcohol buzz? Or are we going to get to the crux of the real problem and ask because, you know, yeah, and I would lose sleep over this, Higgins. I wouldn't be going to bed since I'm up. I would sit there in your rocking chair. Okay, and I'm telling this to all of you. I want you to do reflections. Higgins always calls it that, reflection time. And ask yourself, 9 people on board, including the president of Iran, they got to the helicopter. President Ibrahim Raisi is believed dead after a helicopter went down in northern Iran. So then another thing, another news article came out today. Let's look at these. There's what's going to happen next week. Okay, now a lot of people message me saying, you know, we loved your channel. We love your insight, A lot of them are Trump-loving people who, yeah. So basically, there's a lot of people. So, what's gonna happen, is in the future, right? Is what's gonna happen? So, for example, uh, is are we going to have to worry about the assassination? So Higgins says he needs a generator for the sump pumps. No, I don't. You know why? I'll tell you why. Because if you had money, Higgins, sorry, I'm gonna have to rip Higgins new one here for a second. Then you go and buy yourself a clean energy sign gasoline generator. You run outside your porch and you run it down to your basement. You don't use a solar generator because the solar generator is too small power, and if you've done the math and it powers a light bulb, then as a prepper you don't use that type of generator. You see the common sense there. You don't need a solar generator. I mean, literally, okay? And your power doesn't go out that often. So use the math there, okay? You're just trying to burn your gift cards whole in it. We made an agreement. We're getting you first. We agreed to your SDS. The second agreement was a computer, okay? So stick with the plan. You deviated. It irritates the shit out of me, okay? Now let's get back to real talk about prepping here, okay? So what's going to happen for you preppers? What's going to happen for the world? Well, Higgins is, the power, yeah, the power grid's pretty much stable where you're at. I looked into it, okay? I don't do lazy research for nothing when I have to, okay? You're an IT man. You know computers. I am a prepper. I know things, okay? And by the way, Higgins, you need to rotate your food out. It's another thing for you preppers out there. Rotate your food. But for you guys tuning in and watching me, what's going to happen? Well, a lot of doomsdayers saying this could be the catalyst for World War III or nuclear war. Could be. I mean, literally, we don't have the information or all the puzzle pieces to say what happened to the Bell 212 helicopter. For all we know, U.S. military black ops, which doesn't exist, aka Track 1 or Track 2, go look it up under the Nixon administration, literally could. I mean, think about it. Is this going to happen? We don't know. We got to wait for the evidence to roll in before we can rule out political assassination of a president of that. I mean, remember, the Archduke of Austria was assassinated and World War I started. Yeah, and then Germany tried to take over in 2 world wars. So think about it. Think about that for a minute. I'm going to use the restroom real quick. I don't want to be here too long because, well, I got a game to play. to the main crux of the problem, okay? So, was it political assassination? No one knows. But here's another thing I want to reiterate yet again, okay? A big notice. 40% of current Americans supposedly, allegedly, would not vote for Donald Trump in the next election. Now, they say it could go up to 30 or 40 more percent if he's convicted, okay? So, let me put it to you this way. It's only my opinion. I'm not going to give you misinformation. My own opinion is, again, and a lot of people have been emailing me on this as well. Higgins hasn't, because Higgins thinks he knows everything and he doesn't, okay? So here's what's going to happen, okay? If we have a competent trial, they should have thrown it out. I mean, look, the trial is a circus, okay, for Donald Trump in New York, okay? I've said it once. I've said it many, many times, okay? Chloe sent me something, 20 different links to Donald Trump being convicted. Okay, well, let's just say that everyone's saying it, but what if it doesn't happen? Then what? That's fine. Fine by me, okay? Now, a lot of people say, "Oh, well, you're a liberal Democrat." Let me put it this way: I'm neutral, but for the sake of the argument, did he get a fair shake? No. He's basically, this is the thing that they're trying to bring him down for. Let's break this trial thing down in the whole courts, because a lot of people say I'm level-headed and they love my channel and they want people to realize that, you got the doomsday preppers that are all intel time. We're going to die tomorrow. You got to, Pee-wee sent me one of those where we were going to be nuked 3 days after July 3rd, 2022. It's 2024. No nukes. I just laughed. But I love Sister Pee-wee dearly. Now, Sister Pee-wee knows, she'll defend Trump anyways. Higgins will defend Trump. Me, I'm staying neutral because I'm not going to lose my channel. That's the reason I keep quiet. But, sake of the argument, I'm going to go out on a limb and say, look, the American people deserve a true trial, not a circus trial, not a show trial. I mean, literally, this is all they got. They got a guy who lied to Congress sitting there as their main witness. I would have thrown the damn case out myself. But, nope, they have to do something. And why are they doing this? Well, again, I'm not going to misinform you, but in my humble opinion, they made this stick because, frankly, they couldn't get the other. I mean, look, all the media is saying Donald Trump's got Judge Eileen Cannon in her back pocket. Sorry, not Donald Trump. Donald's not a woman. In his back pocket, she won't do it. And then this happened, and then Jack Smith's trial is being delayed, and blah, blah, blah. It's a back and forth thing until it gets to trial. I mean, look, here's how I theorize what's going to happen to President Trump, okay? Ex-President Trump. Hush money case is either going to go 50-50. He's going to be convicted. Judge is going to give him the maximum. He's going to sit in the pokey for 4 years. Unless we get RFK or someone in there that pardons him, he's going to sit in prison rotting. While he's in prison, they're going to steamroll over the judges. They're going to steamroll over everything, and they're going to make it so he's going to trial before 2025 on the other 3 cases. Think about it. That's the one option I have. The one option. I mean, look. I mean, can we trust a porn star? Maybe. Maybe not. Yeah. I mean, I've heard all the damn things, dictatorships, and he's going to destroy the country, and he's going to be a one world government, and we're all going to be Christians or dead, or no one's going to have sex changes. No one's going to have service dogs. You're going to have to bend over, kiss his ass, and blah, blah, blah. Okay, that's everyone's opinion. Everyone has entitled to their opinion. But truthfully, this is all that did. They stacked the deck. Okay, look. The judge literally said in the beginning of the trial when the jury selection, if any of you can't be biased, raise your hands or whatever. Like 97 of them did. So they were exempted because they were for Donald Trump. He wanted a jury that would be freaking unbiased, but secretly, in my own opinion, I'm leaving this into your guys' own imagination or your own research. But in my opinion, he chose the biggest New York, Manhattan sheeples he could find, basically convict the guy. They probably had a secret thing in the back, possibly, hypothetically, that said, "Oh, do you want to see him fry? Okay, you're hired." Oh, Higgins comes in. "Oh, welcome, New York, Manhattan guy. Do you? Oh, no, I believe he's innocent. Okay, get the fuck out." And they probably stacked the deck secretly and made it look like they're unbiased. So they found a way to do it. So when the time comes, they're gonna see it. We're gonna all see him wearing an orange jumper. But what's the repercussions? Well, could that trigger civil war? Well, a lot of people say it won't because they don't want to go up against the United States government and the airplanes, nuclear bombs, submarines, aircraft carriers, helicopters, Harriers, fighter jets, F-35s, you name it. So who knows what's going to happen? But could this trigger civil war? Highly unlikely, unless a lot of redneck hilljacks really want that route. Yeah. And frankly, personally, I don't know what to think. But these are things you got to ask yourself. This is going to be a trying week. You got President of Iran assassinated, possibly because lack of helicopter parts, or secretly a missile went up, then blew it up. No one knows. They say it's a helicopter crash. So they didn't say, a heat-seeking Stinger missile. I'm just coming up with that. Something. In the fog, they knew the helicopter's flying over, and they used a heat-seeking missile just to blow it down. Then when they got to the scene, the helicopter would have been blown up in air and left in parts. They're saying, that currently the president of Iran is no survivors found after helicopter carrying Iran's president crashes. Yeah, see? Wow. So anyways, so what do you guys think? That is something that I think, and Israel kept saying, "Oh, Iran's backing Hezbollah's, and we're gonna get the final strike." This could be an Israel Black Ops operation. No one knows. I mean, literally, think about it. Personally, if I was president, I would be supporting Israel no matter what. I'd be like, "You guys are on your own, okay, dude?" Because my homeless population is more important right now than helping you wipe out humans and human nations and human beings that live, breathe, and die. Oh, well, the thing about the Israelis apparently is they don't care as long as you're Jewish. Two is they don't care if you live, breathe, or die. As long as you're Jewish, you can live, breathe, and die. But if you're an Arab or a Muslim, they don't care if you die. So it doesn't matter if they killed women, children, and old men because of it. Like in the Vietnam War, they killed women, children, and old men. Now, I'm not here to basically scare the shit out of you, okay? But something doesn't add up. And I smell something really bad coming down the piper. Think about it. Think about it, my friends. Think about it. Is this worry Higgins to the point where he needs to buy a generator? No. He needs to rotate his food out. Carry it out, get rid of the old stuff and put fresh in. Plain simple, that's it. Should he worry about his sump pump? No, I already gave the explanation. You get a little gas Honda or one of these energy clean generators that can run 12 hours on a gallon of gas at the sump pump. Might cost you $900, but guess what? It works. Now he probably, it's clear. Solar's clean. Yes, but the problem with solar is the batteries. So I'd prefer a gasoline powered one anyways if I was going that route, because the sump pump takes more power than the solar generator can power. That's the problem. I mean, literally, no, I asked Higgins for generator numbers. He didn't deliver. But we're not here to talk about generators. We're here to talk about two problems here. Problem one is Was the president of Iran assassinated through black ops? Possibly. Was he assassinated due to the fact they knew that America didn't have to send him helicopter parts from 1960s? The helicopter went down because the parts were scarce. Well, think of it. An Air Force general comes out and says, oh, parts are scarce. Really? As soon as the helicopter goes down, that's their excuse? Smells fishy to me, man. Parts are scarce. How many in the last 100 years, no, let's make it 50 years, has been assassinated or died in some type of fiery crash? Do the math. This may be what Tildor was talking about in his big black swan event. Again, just the theory, okay? Now, the black swan event could be next week when and if the jury turns around and debates, we're going to quote unquote we're going to quote unquote convict him. Then he's got to go to the higher courts and say, oh, it was wrong, presented all this evidence. Meanwhile, while he's presenting the evidence, he's rotting in prison. See? And then when the judge, and if you get a liberal judge who turns around and says, no, everything was legit, then he's got to appeal it again. And it goes higher and higher and higher. While he's appealing it, he's rotting in prison, not sitting it behind the resolute desk again doing his job. So technically think about it. Why is the government afraid? You do the math. I can't comprehend why the United States government is afraid of Donald Trump. I really don't. Okay, but for the argument, so Higgins says, Senate Minority Leader Chuck Schumer says, let me tell you, you take on the intelligence community. They have 6 ways from Sunday at getting back at you. Yeah. But he's the Senate Majority Leader right now because the Senate's majority is the Democrats, whereas he must have been in when he was minority. The Majority Leader in the House is the Speaker and Republican, so it's a divided House. And yet, there's another thing. You got all these damn people. Okay, let me argue what's going on. There's inside turmoil. Okay, I'm going to tell you something I don't like to tell people. It's a big bad thing. Here, let's put this over here, and let's prepare some sausages for dinner tonight again. That will work. There we go. Just said, yeah. All right. Let me just tell you something before I forget. A lot of Americans, all right. Now, as I told this to Higgins, I've told this to Pee-wee. No, not Pee-wee, Zoe. That country's divided, okay? You got one side of the country believing that women are property. Okay, property. I talk to women all the time. Okay, I'm a woman. They say they're voting blue because they're going to be telling the people that they're not property like in the fucking Bible. Yeah. And so they believe that they're entitled to kill off their babies, which, okay. Now, I'm not going to go into murky waters or gray areas on YouTube, getting my channel banned or censored, but this is what these women say to me, okay? It's fine and dandy if they want to say that. They're not property, okay? They believe that church and state should be separated. Okay, I agree there to a point. As long as you read your Bible indoors and you keep to yourself and be a hermit, it's fine and dandy with me. I don't care. I don't care if you don't believe. It's your opinion. I'm not going to ram down my opinion on yours. But they say it's their God-given right to have an abortion because they feel bad that they don't want to feel bad going to the welfare office to ask for handouts because they can't afford to take care of their baby that they had sex. But at the same time, the men I talked to said it's not their God-given rights to go buy rubber either. So it's basically, they say the river is uncomfortable while having sex because their supposedly hot dog is encased in rubber. Well, it helps you from impregnating the woman. Now, there's a third problem here. A lot of Americans believe in this day and age, if Europe can do it and other countries can do it, and we're the wave of the future, they believe in, but not limited enough to, same-sex marriage. Now you can sit there and say, oh, that's great. Yeah, right? So they believe that everyone's entitled to be miserable. Hey, if that makes you happy, fine. There's a lot of people out there in the world. Whoops. There we go. In the world that believe in the Bible and the Jewish Torah and the Quran that says, and I'm not here to preach to you that it's wrong and that gay people should be put to death or bisexuals should be put to death or lesbians should be put to death. Why? It's not our job to judge who they can love. It's not our job, okay? Let me put it this way, okay? Now, Higgins and I, we go round and round on things, okay? I still want my report on the generators on the tablets and computers and stuff, so get to it, Higgins. I know you're watching. But here's something that I want to say with the bottom of my heart, okay? And I'm not trying to be an asshole here, all right? I'm a woman, and I have my own damn opinions, and I accept your opinions too. But when you turn around and say, well, my religious belief says you can't kill a baby, that's your religious beliefs, okay? I'm fine and dandy with your opinions, okay? But that's your opinion. Think of the woman. Think of what would happen, okay? Let me break it down to you, okay? Let me just break it down to you, okay? Say a woman gets raped and they won't allow her to have an abortion because she's raped. It's in their state constitution. So they go to another state to get it done. They're entitled to it. They were raped. Now, say the government says, no, you can't have an abortion for rape or incest. And all of a sudden, hypothetically, a little kid comes out and born retarded. And the mother's pissed she couldn't have an abortion. And then the government says, oh, well, you can, we have a new policy, no welfare. Let's just say, right? Now think about it. If we don't grant abortions and rape and incest happens and these kids are born and they can't give them up for adoption, let's just say they're trying to take that away from people, I hear, hypothetically. All right? I've heard some things from that. Put it this way in an easy term, including an easy term Higgins can understand. Right now, the taxpayers are tired of paying. So if a woman wants to get an abortion, let her have it because, frankly, they don't want to be property of a man, okay? Some women think they're more superior than men, fine and dandy. But then you got the other side of the coin, all right? The other side of the coin is this, okay? Human rights values, all right? You got fascist people out there in this world. I've heard about it. I have not seen it myself. You got racist people in this world. And I'm talking about in our country, okay? Some of them could be redneck hilljack. Some of them could be African American. Some of them can be white. But I hear from various people. I live in a diverse community, so I hear things from Asians and Latinas and African Americans. They're open-minded to me. They say they're worried about segregation again, okay? That's one thing that they want to vote against. They want us all to be equal. They don't want to see Latino-only bathrooms and African-American bathrooms and whites-only bathrooms. We went past that a long time ago during the Johnson administration. But a lot of people want it back. A lot of people. Then we get people, bless Higgins' heart, who can't afford jack diddly crap, hoarding their food stamps to live, which it's an entitlement of his. He's entitled, in his own opinion, to hoard it. It's all cool. I ain't complaining there. But what if Higgins turns around and gets a letter one day? It says, we're sorry, we're cutting your food stamps down to $50 a month. Even though apparently you're on SSI, you don't qualify for SSDI, hypothetically, because we got to pay for all the illegals and all the babies that were raped and incest. It could happen. The government could turn around and say, because of these laws, we have to take away for the people, the disabled, the needy. What if Higgins basically loses his house hypothetically and ends up subsidizing? Sorry, Higgins, we got to put you in a tent because you're white, crusty old geezer. Sorry, I'm just throwing that out there for fun. And we got to support Jorge and his 19 kids because Jorge needs your apartment. It could happen. Think about it. Now, the government turns around, okay? And what are they doing? Literally, they are doing it. I mean, look, Higgins messaged me from time to time talking about the ACP program ending, right? Some companies are actually giving 1 month extension from their own coffers. That's nice, right? Yeah. But what happens in June when Higgins turns around and says, oh, well, I got my lifeline, but my internet went up. I mean, look, let me tell you how I poke Higgins, okay? Just jokingly, of course, okay? Higgins has got these gift cards burning holes. I made a promise to Higgins, gift cards will keep flowing. He's got to get an SDS 200 first. I told him the other day. Then afterwards, we'll work on a computer. Doesn't say anything about a solar generator, okay? Gift cards can't stop. Yeah, but my point is this, okay? Higgins helps me out a lot. But in the sake of argument, Higgins literally went and complained. Apparently, something, I don't know the whole details. I don't remember, under the weather, half tipsy or whatever, but he was talking about complaining about the ACP program and his internet went up. I mean, he got it knocked down for a month or two or something, whatever, right? The thing is I don't argue at all that much, all right? Higgins argued with me the other day, okay? This is what happened, okay? We had a snowstorm. And Higgins got angry, apparently, at the time because Amazon, okay, here's what happened, okay? I'm going to say the argument, okay? Amazon said my package would be delivered. It was delayed because of snowstorm. So they reshipped the package because it said delivered. Well, about a couple days later, my original package came after the replacement. They told me the replacements, the originals came in, keep them. It was coffee. Okay, cool. Higgins said, oh, you can't do that because of blah, blah, something or other. It's wrong, right? Really, it's like Amazon turning around and telling him, okay, here's the deal. We sent you refurbished or used, open boxed, whatever, hand radios. You know, GMRS that work and he wants for his mom. But then again, the guy says he's entitled to break the ham radio license during a major disaster to talk to his mom because he doesn't think anything's going to happen to him. Same guy turns around and says, it's wrong for you, Rita, to keep the coffee. Yeah, well, it's wrong for you to keep an open box that Amazon gives you after you complain. I mean, literally, think about it. Yeah. So, to me, okay, I love Higgins dearly as a sister, but I don't like how some people can be bigots on this. I mean, look, let me tell you something. The other day, I contacted Amazon, complained they weren't going to do anything. As soon as Phillips finds out that the surge protectors were used, not even in factory boxes, they went to Amazon and said, why? Amazon said, oh, well, we don't have a reason for it. Yeah, we don't have a reason for it. We just threw it in with tissue paper. What happened? They sent us 8 more new to be nice. Philip says, we're making this right. We don't want a negative review that Amazon fucks up. Okay, it's not third party. It's shipped by Amazon. I mean, literally, Higgins turns around and says, oh, well, you cannot go through a third party. I'll go through a third party. If the third party fucks me over, I'll give him a fucking negative he can't remove. I mean, look, Zoe and I talked about reviews on Amazon. Once a review is negative, they can't remove the damn thing unless there's a justification for the product. Now, for me, of course, the justification was we posted pictures and everything of the box damage and holes in it. Looked like Swiss cheese, so think about it. But for the sake of the argument, the ACP program's gone, right? People out there in the world are hearing two sides of the story. You got the Republican side, okay, in the politics, saying, oh, our race is going to be replaced by blacks and Hispanics. I hear that too. So what's the whiteies, the people in Congress doing? They're trying to make it so you can't have an abortion. But what if Mary Jane Johnson, African-American woman, just throwing a name out there, I don't know, literally can't have an abortion, has 30 kids on Higgins' dime in Michigan. Yeah, and living on the dole because she can't have an abortion, but she's got 30 kids, which means 30 more future African Americans that will vote. Eventually, they'll take over as the majority because, the stupid thing. Now, a lot of people on the Republican side, they want to take away things. I mean, look, let's just break it down, okay? Higgins says, look, women, I've talked to women, they want to say that they are not fucking property. I could turn around and say to Higgins, look, you're on SSI. You're the property of Uncle Sam. If Uncle Sam wants to arrest you because of whatever reason and trump up something, they can do it. Think about it. Now, they can do the same for me, but my true opinion is this, okay? Talking to women out there, okay, it's 50-50 split. Talking to men out there, it's 50-50 split. Men, they want a woman to be in the kitchen, servicing their wiener, and cooking for them, having a full belly. That's what their definition of a woman is. Okay? Now, there's another side of it. Republican women, they have their own beef. Okay? Maybe they want abortions for African Americans, Hispanics, but not Caucasians, because Caucasians are, in their opinion, superior race or whatever. The other thing is they're angry that they work hard, just like their male counterparts, and their tax dollars is going, if they own a house, the property taxes. Higgins know this. Go break down the property taxes sometimes. What are they selling to the property tax? School. You're paying for the schools, paying for the fire, paying for the police. You're paying for EMS. You're paying for all these programs. Now, say you're paying your state taxes. Then you got to pay federal tax. What's federal taxes going for? Well, you pay into it, and then people find out they're paying for food stamps. So now they got these new rules. If you're over a certain age, you keep food stamps. If you're under a certain age, 3 months every 3 years. Okay. Then, unless you're exempt for being disabled or whatever. Then you got them Republicans complaining about we're paying for Higgins. Let's just use it this way, okay? Well, let's break it down in an easy form to understand. You got Republicans, you got Democrats, and you got Democrats and Republicans. The first set of Democrats and Republicans on each side believe that they paid into their programs, they're entitled to it. So be it. You got the second set of Democrats, or let's just say Republicans only, that believe that you're not entitled to jack shit. They're going to do anything in their powers to make sure that Higgins and Rita and the Pee-wees and the Dans and the Zoes and the Chloes and everyone else gets shit on because they don't want to pay for Rita and Zoe's and Higgins and Chloe's phone service or internet program. So they cut it. And then all of a sudden we have to make a decision. Do we want to give free phone service and internet to the Higgins, the Ritas, and the Zoes and the Chloes? Or do we want to take that money, put it into the homeless for the homeless to need? Or do we put it into the Israeli and Russia-Ukraine war? See, priorities are wrong. That's the thing. Americans don't realize that the government's priorities are wrong. So they cut you off to give aid to other people. I mean, think about it. Right now, I got a friend who's been fighting INS for freaking 4 years to get her fiance into the country. She's paid $175,000 in legal fees, and they're putting the illegals first. Supposedly. That's from her own words, not mine. So I'm not going to misinform you, okay? But I want you to think about it. Think about it. You got two sides of the coin. You see, the true Republicans want to take away everything. Literally is what I understand. They don't want anyone. I mean, my sister said back in the day, the elderly, before Social Security was taken care of by their parents and their grandchildren and great-grandchildren. Now, they're all worried about their Social Security. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And yet, think about it. You got two sides of the coin. Now, I only got to the parts where the Republicans want to take away the benefits for everyone because, if they got to work, then everyone else got to work. Fine and dandy, okay? Now, the other side of the coin, the women. Republican men don't like that they're wealthy and rich, and they married into wealth and rich, or they married into a woman who basically has a pedigree and near nobility, but not near nobility, a well-to-doer, and these women sit there and they see a man goes through a sex change because the man thinks, oh, well, if I'm tired of taking care of men or women, I'm going to become a woman, get a cooter, and let the guy take care of me. And then 30 years later, Zoe and I jokes about this all the time. They're the 30 year later hoarding cats or dogs, mostly cat lady, because that's all they have in life. Mm-hmm. I know a lot of transgender people that had sex changes that thought if they had a vagina, they would be taken care of. 20 years later, they've had to have their implants replaced, and they're aging like an old shoe, and they don't pass now. Everyone knows they're a former dude, and yet not one of them is being taken care of. And a lot of these genetic women think that a man in a dress is now taking away more of their womanhood rights. They can't have kids, but they're saying, oh, in the future they're going to do ovary and uterus transplants and we can all have kids. We don't need women. Yes, but then you got the genetic male side, arguing to a point that they don't want to stick their penis into an inverted manhole. Now, think about it. There's a lot of Republicans out there that say this is wrong. It's their opinion. Thing is, there should be some standards. Yeah, but instead, government turns around and tells the Republicans, you got to accept Caitlyn Jenner because she's on a magazine, okay? Caitlyn's okay. What happens? That's it. Men sit there and say, oh, or a woman turns around to inherit. Oh, which reminds me, I need to check on that. I wanted to know something. Is it still in circulation? Yeah. So it's online and the total circulation has dropped. It went down, Final issue is paper. Yeah, hold on. So apparently, yeah, anyways, let me see. So, okay. So they don't make it public anymore. So I guess that's why they lost a lot of circulation. But the reason, for example, Playboy lost their circulation, where the men come in to this whole ordeal of arguments, is, are you ready for this? Is because men, what Playboy one day put in a transgendered woman from, I think it was Italy or France, okay? They said, if we're going to be paying for our smut, we want it to be a genetic woman, not with a inverted penis, and we want our smut to be naked. Well, the new owner decided to make it clothed, where changing all the format. And when the transgender woman came back, that was the last straw, apparently. So think about it from a political standpoint, okay? You want a magazine to wank off to. That's not there anymore. Maybe Hustler is, or Penthouse. I don't know if it's still available. I have no clue. But anyways, let me just tell you the story. So a lot of men are getting tired of being told by the federal government, you must accept these people as women. Yeah. I mean, literally. Now, if you live in a blue state, it's not more likely you'll be discriminated. But in a red state, I mean, think about it. And they talk about grooming children for sex changes. Again, I only know this because I've seen some reports, King 5, Como, Cairo, back 20 years ago, where 3-year-olds were put on hormones, shots, and now 79% of those children are dead because their family, the doctor screwed up. So technically, I think it has to be 18 or over before you make the decision. But apparently, the government wants to overrule us for whatever reason. But at the same time, the Republicans are worried that if these kids have sex changes, they won't be able to produce children for their cause. So to me, you got all these things coming down the pipe. Well, we're religious. You can't have a sex change. We're religious. Can't be gay. We're religious. You need to provide your own cell phone and internet. We're religious. You should get off your ass. The more you look at it, the more, you see things, and to some people, yeah, maybe it's fine for them, because they've had a hard life and they're miserable. And other people think they're just flat out right entitled. Look at my neighbor, for example. He thinks he's entitled to his internet and his phone being free. He thinks he's entitled because he lost $4 million because he screwed up from his inheritance, and he's entitled to everything. And yet, the only thing I see he's entitled to is a one-way ticket to the pokey after driving while intoxicated. Not once, but 4 times, and being picked up. 4 times in the last month. Driving while suspended license. He tells the officers, fuck you. I'm what do you call it? I'm entitled. Look, the problem in this country is there's too many people that are being forced to accept. Some are told you have to accept it or we're not giving money. I mean, some organizations say, well, if you don't accept the LGBTQIA, we're censoring you. And others do other things. Think about it. Think about it with a full T. Dot your I's, cross your T's. Think about it. I mean, this is what the political spectrum is right now. You got Donald Trump up on trial for some kangaroo court, which, if everything is proper and they forecast properly, he'll be convicted. They'll remove him from the ballot and we'll have RFK. Or we'll have Biden and RFK. Or something else, right? Biden and Harris, whatever. No, I'm not saying anything negative about President Biden or Kamala Harris. There are commander-in-chiefs. We may not like them, but we still got to show them respect for the office they hold. Unfortunately, problem is we're in a divided country. Okay, you got one side saying, oh, well, I paid my taxes. I'm entitled to my money. And Uncle Sam saying, no, you're not entitled to jack shit. We give you what you give. I mean, look, my cousin Dinky once told me a few years ago, people that think they're entitled, those are the ones that get the fucking shoehorn boot to the curb, where they get what they get. And those are the ones that are miserable the rest of their life because they're living, and I feel sorry for them because they're the ones that had to work for 30 years, 40 years, and all of a sudden they don't get nothing. Let me tell you, my mom, she was disabled. She got disabled, right? 467. What did they do? They decided to pop her with SSI. They didn't give her SSDI. Then they said, oh, you don't qualify for SSR yet, even though she worked for 45 years. What did they do? They delayed it, kept her on SSI. They said, oh, look, you got Medicaid. And then eventually Medicare, and then food stamps. So I can sympathize with those people. I sympathize with Higgins. Problem is, sometimes the world basically screws you over, okay? It's the way it is. But, I mean, look, a lot of people out there, okay, let me tell you how it is. A lot of people out there don't realize, and this is just the theory I have. I'm not going to misinform you. But somehow the government's got a file on everyone. So when they go through it, prove or deny on Social Security, they look and say, oh, this guy here is a Trumper. He believes in abortions, or he doesn't believe in abortions. And he's yada, 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 denied. That's it. You don't see that file. They deny it. Now, say you're a Bidenite. You believe in abortions. You believe in same-sex marriage. You believe in gay rights. Approved. Most of it's back and forth. I know Pee Wee was here. She'd probably disagree with me or agree, depending. But government's basically watching everyone like a hawk secretly, wanting to know what their true opinions are. Yeah, think about it. I mean, you got two sides of the coin. Republican side doesn't want to pay for anything. They want to take away everything. They want to basically pay as less as possible while they suck on the government's teeth themselves. And, you hear about, the Democrats, like supposedly, allegedly, this is hearsay from me because I haven't seen it with my own eyes, but allegedly, supposedly, Pelosi eats $20 ice creams. And her freezers are $20,000 freezers with, $20 pints of ice cream in it. Wow. Well, let's just say Higgins is eating 4 pounds of beans in his crock pot. Or some Republican Joe Blow schmoes eating prime rib every night while Higgins is eating a better cheddar. I mean, literally, this is what I'm hearing, and I'm only saying, speculating, so technically think about it. Think about it. The American people in this world is getting shafted. You got the hard workers like my family that's prepping, at my advice, and they got like 4 heads of cows. They can slaughter one every time they finish a cow and eat it down to nothing. Then you got the other people, the Ritas, the Higgins, the Chloe's homeless, so she doesn't have storage. They can't afford one meager steak. Well, Chloe could if she didn't fucking buy more clothes than she needs. But that's just beside the point. But you get the point, right? Point is we're a divided country. And you know what? My opinion is this. If you're a Republican male or female and you're fighting because you believe abortions should be banned, good for you. If you're a Democrat fighting abortions should be legal, sex changes could be illegal, and men can be women, good for you. If you're a Republican that believe that men and women should only legally marry, and a man shouldn't have a sex change or a woman shouldn't have a sex change, good for you. Because, frankly, you're fighting for what you believe in. But our country will always be divided. Thing is, we have to be unified, but we can't. When you got half-assed people saying, you're not entitled to, which most people aren't entitled. Most people are not entitled to jack diddly shit. You earn it or not. Look at other countries. Some people, I know a girl's cancer or semi-cancer. She's got to work every damn day. Why? Because of what it is. Yeah. Then you get these people, okay? You see these people, they go on YouTube, they do interviews, the trans women, they're all hot and gorgeous. Oh, yeah, look at me, I'm going to Italy. And then people realize eventually as they get more followers, hey, would you stick your wiener in them? Oh, no, okay. So again, men basically come across this so they can harass the trans community. I mean, you wouldn't believe how many times I have seen them get harassed, because, well, they wanted to be a woman. And, and then the genetic women say, well, look at these trans women. They're taking away our rights. They got to use our bathrooms. Okay. They got to use our makeup brands. Okay. They want to basically wear the clothes that we used to wear, but we changed course because we don't wear that anymore. Yeah. I mean, look. In this country, it's divided. Okay. Now, let me tell you a story. All right. Remember, I was tipsy last night. I told you in the morning edition that there was a woman who was trying to call me. I was in bed sleeping. I think she was angry. But you know what? Oh, well, because frankly, first of all, if the woman, I have allies everywhere. They said, yeah, first of all, I don't change. Okay. I'm not going to change. Okay. Changing? No, I'm not talking about sex. Okay. I'm talking about changing as in applications. Okay. I don't have a smartphone. Okay. I don't use Telegram. I don't use whatever. Okay. I use email, Google Voice, my phone, etc. Now, I asked them last night, oh, so you saw my video where I was tipsy? Oh, yes. Then being a woman, supposedly, from this country, or not born in this country, but living in, say, born in another country, living out here because apparently the partner died in red state, they're lesbian, hypothetically. We're not going to belittle them for being lesbian. Good for you. Or straight or whatever. Point is if I'm drinking excessively, you would think if you're trying to ring me on the damn Instagram program, why didn't I answer the phone? Simple. I'm sleeping. 3, I don't use any. I'm too old-fashioned. Telegram, I've had my own family, Filipinos, tell me extended Filipinos tell me not to use it. Biggest hoot nanny. What's this? Oh, yes, Mr. Bean, Roy Atkinson's. Yeah, Hagen sent me some of that, but you get the point, okay? I'm not going to be here all night, but you get the idea, my friends. I mean, literally, there's a whole bunch of division going on. You got one side basically saying we don't want to support sex changes, kids having sex changes, Medicare covering sex changes, Medicaid covering sex changes, free phones, free food, free internet. We work for our food, internet, house. These people should work for their sex changes, food, internet, phone. Then you get the same Republican saying, look, these people claim that they're trapped in the wrong body, and if they don't get help, they'll kill themselves. Well, a lot of Republicans turn around and I don't support suicide. So if you do feel suicidal, please call the crisis number, people. But these people turn around and they literally want you dead. Yeah, because transgender surgery saves lives. Then they see, all these people out there now detransitioning, saying, "Oh, I had my boobs cut off, and I got a willy. I'm stuck with no boobs, a willy, and I can't have a kid, and I got this beard the rest of my life and a deep voice because I thought I was transgender." Yeah, the world is full of surprises. Yeah. So then what happens? Eventually they take estrogen again and feminize, but they're going to always have that masculine face. They can get their electrolysis removed. But the doctor says, we can build you a hole, but it ain't going to be the same functioning one you had in the past. Or they might not even do the surgery again. I mean, literally, some doctors, they don't mind if you reverse it because it's more money in their pocket, right? Think about it. So the Republican side, they have their own fights, and they're fighting for what they believe in. Now you could say, well, how come I'm saying good for each party? Because I'm neutral. I'm the one that has to sit in the middle and watch what happens, whether Republicans win or Democrats win. But it is an interesting roller coaster ride. But how's it going to play out? No one knows. So there you have it. I, on the other hand, have to make 2 phone calls. It's that time. And since we got 3 people watching, no comments, I think it's good to basically say, that between a helicopter crash in the news tonight and, what's going to happen there, how's it going to play out, that's going to be exciting but scary at the same time. Keep prepping. And then you got the whole thing where the jury may just debate this coming week, convict him. That's exciting but scary too. And then the third is the election. No one knows which way it's going to go. But the thing is you got these people like the Chloes that think they're entitled to sex changes, the food stamps, the phone service, and everything else because they're transgender. And this is why the Republicans want to take that away too. They think, oh, one wrong move, it's discrimination. It's always the discrimination card. Try being me. It's not one thing, it's a million others. Could be about the dog for all we know, for mom. So I got to make phone calls. So I haven't made a call since Thursday to my dad. So it's time to call him. Then I got to call a friend of mine up afterwards. So hope you like this nighttime edition. After my food, I'm in the game. Thanks for watching, everyone. And if you have any questions or concerns, please leave them in the comments below. Keep the comments nice, is all we ask. And God bless you and everything you do.